All right, hi guys, welcome to week 6. I can't believe that it's week 6 already, so this semester is starting to fly by. So, with that in mind, we're going to dig right in just a second, but this is test week, so I will be making a video on what is covered in the test later on, probably towards the end, and then I have also created a folder for you guys. I don't know if you guys have checked it out yet, but I will email you. For the piano proficiency exam, the only thing in there right now is all the scale and all the arpeggio fingerings that you're going to need for all 12 major and all 12 harmonic minor scales and arpeggios. So that is in there. Another thing I'm working on is preparing a sheet detailing what you will be expected to do. So just a reminder that the choice between minuets and G major, those two different ones, is one of your prepared rep pieces, and the other one, there are two other pieces, A Little Blues and Chorale are their names. So we covered last week, we covered the minuets and practice tips, so be practicing those because at this point, we picked that up in week 1, they should start to be becoming memorized, and then week 2 should be starting to get there as well. So check out that sheet. Focus on the prepared portion first. The prepared portion is taking place in week 11, and that's scales and those pieces, and then all of the sight work is taking place during finals week. So after we finish week 11, we're just going to focus all of our energy into sight transposition, sight harmonization, and score reading. So we're still going to do little things, but that will really pick up after we're done with the prepared portion. So despite all the test stuff that's happening this week, keep practicing those two pieces and your scales as well. And we're going to cover some arpeggios this week, so that should help. Anyways, that's all on that. I will be sure to be in contact with you about that, but please be practicing that right now, and there will be a couple more things that we're going to do for that. So anyways, let's turn in our book. Today, we're going to go briefly over modulation and then do a harmonization that involves modulation. So, turn in your books to page 184. We're in Unit 14. This should be a familiar term to you guys from theory. Modulations, basically, we just go from one key to another. Okay? So let's really quickly play as kind of a little warm-up. 14-1, playing the chord progression that modulates to the dominant. Okay, so basically in this instance, we're going from 1 to 1 in another key, from C to G major. Okay, so let's find our chords, and then we're going to play through it, and then I will take you through one transposition. We're going to transpose it to D major, and then I want you guys to do the other 3 keys that they suggest at least, if not more. Okay? All right, so let's go ahead and play through this. So we have our 1 chord, our 5-7 chord, back to 1, and then 6-6 in the key of C major. Now that's a 2-6 in our new key, which is G. So now going into G major, 1-6-4, 5-7, and then we cadence with 1. Okay, let's try it with D major since that's the easier transposition to do right off the bat, and then I want you guys to try that with the other 3 transpositions, okay? So D major, we just take everything and move it up a whole step. Okay, so we've got our 1 chord, we've got our 5-7 chord, back to our 1. Now we've got a 6-6 in the key of D major, but we want a 2-6 in the key of the dominant, which is A. So it should be a B minor chord in an inversion. Okay? And then from there, we're going to a 1-6-4, so an A major chord in second inversion. And then a 5-7, which is going to be an E7 chord. And then 1 in A major, which is an A major chord. Okay? Alright, if that's a little bit difficult for you to do right off the bat, then take the hands apart and do sight transposition that way. Okay? So now, we're going to skip over the scales and arpeggios. We're going to come back to those in the next video, but let's flip in the book over to 190. We're going to apparently get in the Christmas spirit because I like this harmonization better. Go down to the excerpt where it says We Three Kings, if you can see that. Okay. So, it says right above, using 1, 5, 7, 4, 3, and 5, 7 of 3. We're going to harmonize these just with block chords, okay? As we go along the harmonization, they're going to ask you to do different types of things. As long as you can get the right chords, I don't care if they're broken, blocked, or whatever you're doing. Just as long as you have the right notes, okay? So, if you take a look at the excerpt, and then I'm going to turn you around, okay? Since we're adding some new chords, I'll walk you guys through this one. So, we're definitely in E minor based off of our key signature and the way that the notes are shaped, okay? So let's sight read really quickly through our right hand, okay? So, I'm not going to go super fast, but not super slow, okay? Probably about, since we're in 3/8, 1, 2, 3, 1, ready, go. Okay, biggest thing to remember that F sharp in there. Otherwise, this is a really sight readable melody and it shouldn't be too big of a deal, okay? All right, so you have your spaces in there. What I want you guys to do is go ahead and pause the video right here, right now, and go ahead and write in all of your chords, okay? Okay, if you've written in all your chords, congrats, we're going to keep going on, and what I want to do is just play through the harmonization and check to see if you've gotten them right, okay? So, the very first measure we should be starting on a minor one, so I'm just going to start in a root inversion right here, okay? So, and then I'm going to call out the chords as I play them, and then at the end we'll talk a little bit about the shapes that I took, or I decided, okay? So, 1, ready, go. 5, 7 right here, and back to 1. We're going to stay on 1 for a little bit longer. And 5, 7. 1 right here. Now we're going to go to 5, 7 of 3, so D7 chord, and then 3, so G major, and again, now an A minor chord right here, so 4 chord, okay, I hope that made quite a bit of sense in terms, the first line is definitely the easiest to figure out. When you look at measure 10 and 11, and I guess 12 after that, the reason right there that I picked a 5, 7 of 3 in front of the 3 chord was mainly because we have a 3 chord. It's not going to make much sense. We could have put a minor 4 chord there, but it's not going to make a lot of sense to go from a 4 to a 3. So technically some of these chords can be right, but you definitely want to be looking around at different melodies. My idea for the piano proficiency exam, nothing is quite set in stone when it comes to sight harmonization, is giving you guys a little bit of time to look through it, because my philosophy is never in real life are people, unless you're a professional pianist, people aren't going to throw things at you and be like, hey, do this, without giving you a minute to look through it. So look with a melody, look around for context clues, and you can also work your way backwards. That's why I gave you guys a little bit of time to write in your chords and everything. My idea is to make it a lot faster, and we've done sight harmonization, so. Okay, all right, I hope that was decently understandable. If you need to go back and rewind, do it, or come to my office hours. we will be doing a little bit more sight harmonization at a more difficult level, but it's not going to ramp up too much until after week 11. So, okay? All right, next video we'll talk about arpeggios.